Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for a life, L-I-F-E, life show. And I'm going to tell you some things today that you're not going to like. And the things that I talk about today are going to be backed up with links, news articles, and videos, even from like C-SPAN. So let me get the name of the title plus a few more words that wouldn't fit in the character designation. Trump lost. At what cost? Question mark. Doom and gloom is coming soon? Question mark. Remember, Rabbi Jew Barker told you the New World Order was coming. Remember, you people need to refresh your memories because I told you 10 years ago this was going to happen. And now you're not going to live in the New World Order in the future. You're in it now. I'm here. Christian April IP. Welcome to the machine, Christian April. Dennis Adam, my friend. Dennis, I want to make a note before I go anywhere with this. I went to YouTube Premium, which I'm a member of, and that you pay $10 for that subscription so you don't have to watch advertisements. And I pressed on coal stoves as a tag in the top of YouTube Premium. I probably could show it to you, but your videos were the first 8 videos under the title of coal stoves. That's quite an accomplishment. I mean, they were the first 8. There was nothing in between 1 and number 9 except your videos. So I found that rather impressive. And I just wanted you to know, if you subscribe to YouTube Premium and you press the word coal stoves, you're like the number 1 coal stove guy in the whole world. 2008 Crusader, welcome to the machine. I guess I could show that to you. Let's see. Let's go to subscriptions. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna turn the camera around. I am getting really bad internet today, but I'm gonna go to YouTube Premium, and then I'm gonna look for the tab called Coal Stoves, Science Fiction Films, and now the tab doesn't appear. Well, maybe. No, it doesn't appear at the top. It was right at the top here. It actually said coal stoves. Woodworking tools. No, it's gone. Maybe because I clicked it, it took it off my suggestions box. But when it was a suggestion, it was there. I'll take a screenshot of it next time I see it. So what I wanted to talk to some of you people about today. Good day, Jeans for Life. Welcome to the machine, Jeans for Life. The people that are new. Jack Thompson, not very happy today, Michael, but always happier when I come here. I kind of missed you the last couple of days, Jack, but I know that you've been very busy, as is Warren. So thank you for stopping by. Today we have a live stream, Jack, because life in America, it appears to me and a lot of people that it's kind of over. So, and I'm not the only person saying this. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to go to Make Electric. Let me get rid of this tab. There's a guy called Make Electric, and he has 21,000 subscribers. MAKA. I'm going to just give you his name. This guy does updates on all the world news and articles. Plus, I think he's got a good handle on the New World Order. And this guy, the name of the title is Full Blown I'll full-blown world order ahead. Make no mistake. Now, I didn't title my video after that because my video notes were made last night and from 5 o'clock this morning. But there are a lot of people that understand exactly what's going on, that agree. You follow him already. I'm just going to post his name 3 times because this guy, Make Electric, he talks about earthquakes, talks about politics, he talks about crazy videos, but he also has a handle on what some people call the 3%, which probably is probably going to come into fruition. So I want to go to my notes, but the first thing I want to talk about, I have some tabs open at the top of the page, which you have noticed, and I'm going to close these tabs out as I talk about them. There is something odd about the postal votes, which magically appeared at 4 a.m. in the morning. And this article is about how several 100,000 votes, voter registration, mail-in ballots just appeared magically. So I'll give you the name of the article. There are a lot of people out there that don't agree with what happened, and we're never going to find out. And the reason we're never going to find out the truth is because we are already in the midst of what I told you was coming 10 years ago, the New World Order. And I knew about it long before that. I just didn't post when YouTube first went on air. I didn't make a channel until 2010. But I knew about this New World Order going back to 1991 when George Herbert Walker Bush spoke about the New World Order. So I'm going to close out that tab, and then I'm going to go to the next tab that I have at the top of the page. Then I'm going to go to my notes. So the next tab is Operation Warp Speed. Now that is going to come into play on my 4th note as to what Donald Trump has done, or in fact not done, to America and to make America great again. So the name of this article is Operation Warp Speed. And the head of Operation Warp Speed, the head of Operation Warp Speed and the Gates Foundation are pushing bioelectronic and vaccine patches. So I'm going to give you the name of that, and I'm going to give you the link if it'll fit. First, I want to close out this window. Then I'm going to give you the name of that, Operation Hammer. Okay, well, Jack, you have a wrench. Why don't you get the link for that and post the link 3 times? Because I don't want to I want to close out some of these tabs so that my computer will actually work the way it's supposed to. I have been having problems with it all morning. So let's see. Now, I can't put both things. I can't put both the title video and the link. So what I have to do is cut out the link, post the title, and then I'll post the link 3 times. So that link there is a vital link to see what Trump wants the American people to do. And I'll show it to you in a video format. First of all, it's a little patch, a small patch, not much bigger than $0.50. But inside that patch, there's several thousand microscopic needles. And what the needles do is at something like 700 miles per hour. That's what it says in the article. once you put the patch on your arm at 7 fast, it's either as fast as a bullet or 7,000 feet per second or 700 feet per second. It was in another article. It shoots what some people call a vaccine into your arm, but it also adds a biometric nanobots into your arm that can never be removed or shut off. And this is why Trump called for Operation Warp Speed. Now, I'm going to go into the politics of why we have the lockdown and the pandemic. But I will tell you that I have 5 notes. One is 0, 0, one is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Trump is not, he's not a victim of the New World Order. He is the current face of the New World Order. You can believe whatever you want, but you see this hat? This is a white fedora. The white fedora, in reality, a white fedora represents, like Superman, truth, justice, and the American way. One cannot lie whilst wearing a white fedora. So I'm going to keep that on at all times during the course of this video. So I'm going to shut this link down, and then I'm going to go to the next link I have at the top of the page, which is titled Hoodwinked by an Angel, Michael Fazio. And this is going to bring me to a tab where George Herbert Walker Bush made it clear. Hey, we're not talking about something that may have happened. We are talking about something that did happen. George Herbert Walker Bush in the year 1991 sold, S-O-L-D, sold America to what is known as the Talmud, T-U-L-M-U-D, Talmud Jews. And that's in the notification that I made. And you know that notification by the red dragon, which does not represent Trump or the Republicans. It just represents an angry red dragon. That's all. So, let's see. Where did that come from? Uh-oh. Where did that come from? Live stream. You know, I copied something. My computer is way screwed up. I'm going to have to go back to my notes. That is not the notes. Well, let's see. There's the notes. Okay, the notes were, I was going to the bottom one. Now, this, I'm going to give you these links, but the name of the article is George Herbert Walker Bush describes New World Order in his address to Congress. Bush defines the New World Order. Now, you can't see it. You can see it if you go to the dashboard and click the link, but I can't. I don't think I can click the link here. Oh, yeah, I could. Okay, sometimes that works. Okay, so in C-SPAN, now originally it was September 11th. There is something. Oh, yeah, here. September 11th of 1990, right there at the top. September 11th of 1990. Oh, everything happens on September 11th. Just an accident, right there, Georgie boy? Okay, so George Herbert Walker Bush, not only does he describe the New World Order in this video, and I'm not going to play the video, but he describes that the New World Order, and he says just like this, make no mistake about it, it's going to happen. And it has happened. You don't get it. You people just don't get it. So I'm going to shut that link down, and then I'm going to go to my notes, and I'm going to give you the link directly for that. This way there's no confusion. This is what's happening now is not something that's going to happen in the future. You're in it right now. So here it is in my notes. George Herbert Walker Bush describes New World Order in his address to Congress. And here is the entire title of the video and the link. And in 1991, and it gets a lot worse because just a few months before that, he sold, S-O-L-D, the rights to govern America to the Talmud Jews under the guise, G-U-I-S-E, of the Noahide laws. And I'm going to give you the link for that as well. So I'm going to shut that link off in a second. I want to get this up on the page. You people don't understand what's going on. You are not going to evade, let's say, the New World Order. The New World Order is not going to be stopped because of a man in Las Vegas. That he's not going to stop the New World Order, or anybody in the Philippines, or anybody else. This plan, and now I've been telling you that this plan, well, in 1880, it was made clear in the Masonic lodges that there would be a New World Order and how it was going to take place. Now, I know that you people think that this is a bunch of stories and conspiracy theories, but it's not. In 1880, the Masonic Lodge in England came out with a plan that it's called the 100-Year Plan. So that would have been 1980. And in 1980, if you'll notice, things started to change drastically. And then it's been progressively worse since then. So a lot of people don't believe that the control that the Masons have, but they're not the controlling factor in the conspiracies at all. The Vatican plays a bigger role in conspiracies and controlling the entire, if you want to call it the entire world or globe, or the flat earth, whatever you want to call it. The Vatican controls pretty much all of it, and they're controlled by the great state of Israel. Praise the Lord. You people think that this is just one faction, the Vatican against the Rothschilds, with the Rockefellers, the Club of Rome. It's not one faction. It's all of those factions, including the Obama faction. Okay? Obama was the face of the New World Order from 2008 till 2016. Before that, it was Bush. After that, it's Trump. Next week, it may or may not be Biden or Kamala Harris. But either way, these people, and I believe that they are true, and I'm including Trump in this equation. These people are truly evil or controlled by what we call evil. In the grand scheme of things, probably you would look at it a little differently, but you people aren't there yet. So you're going to have to look at it as good and evil. It exists. People make these choices. They get into politics. They go after the money, and they become what we call, or even what Steven Spielberg called, the dark side. These are evil representatives of the universe. Okay, you can look at it any way you want, red or blue or Republican or Democrat. This is not red or blue or Republican or Democrat. This is evil versus good, good versus evil in real life. And what you're seeing take place in the news today, with whether or not Biden won, I don't know, but I do know that there are thousands of people all over the internet saying that votes were counted after they were supposed to be counted. Was I there? No, I wasn't there. But when you have thousands of people saying something, it might be true. And then you got people on YouTube all over the world talking out their rectums, saying that this was an honest election. It probably was not an honest election, in my opinion. But I can't prove it from the Philippines. But if I had to make a wager, I would say something's wrong. So I'm gonna go to the next tab now because I have a lot of notes and not. I want to get some of these tabs closed. So this tab that I just gave you the link for from my notes right here, the notes. George Bush defines New World Order. Okay, in this video in 1990, this is the 1991. 1990, right. In this video, September 11th, 1990, George W. Bush tells you that the New World Order, he says the words, and I quote, "Make no mistake about it, there will be a New World Order." Okay, that was 30 years ago. And then everybody in that follows any kind of secret society or conspiracy theories knew that it was going to happen and be incorporated into Agenda 2021. Now, you are in, 3 months from the year 2021? Well, they could have started it in 2021, but they had to start it in 2020 so that they would confuse every person in America as to who really got elected, so that it would put America in chaos, besides the fact that Donald Trump single-handedly destroyed the economy, and everybody is not worried anymore about the New World Order. They're worried about whether or not they can buy food. So I'm going to close that tab out, and then I'm going to go to the next tab I have at the top of the page, which is my precursor to this show, but I forget what they call it. Anyway, it's not an important tab, but you've already seen it. Now I'm going to go to the next tab, and then I'm going to go to my notes for a few minutes because I have notes and links for the things I'm going to talk about, including, I know what it's called, the dashboard, my dashboard update. That's what it was, my dashboard update, my latest post. So I can close that tab. I'll leave that tab open. Now, this is a big one. This is a big one. But first, I want to give you the fact that Donald Trump has been accused, and I don't know that he is or not. I haven't done the research on this. Actually, the Truth Lady could tell you that whether or not Donald Trump is a Mason. But here, this is an article from January 4th, 2008. January 4th, 2008. Freemasons make a deal with the devil. Now, I didn't read this entire thing, but it basically gives you a viewpoint that the Freemasons, who have supposedly free will in regards to religion, but at the end of the day, to be a full 33rd degree Mason, you have to climb the ladder, so to speak. You can be you enter into the Blue Lodge and you work your way up to the Scottish Rites, the 33rd degree Mason. But each step of the way, the rules change. And eventually, when you get to the top of the ladder, you have to make an agreement with another entity. Let's call it an entity. That's pretty much the truth. That I can tell you as from personal information. I can tell you that people that I know have left the Order of Masons because when they got to that point, they said, no, this is not what I signed up for. So Freemasons make a deal with the devil, and you can read this article because I really don't have time to read the whole thing. I do as much research as I can on this stuff, but I will tell you that you don't know what's actually going on in the Masonic lodges. Now, Make America Great Again. It comes from a march from the Ku Klux Klan, but not exactly in those words. And I'll give you the date and the article for that in a minute. So where was I here? Where am I? I am a little bit in other news. January 4th, the Freemasons make a deal with the devil. Okay. So I'm going to get the link for that, and I'm going to post a link with that 3 times, and then I'm going to give you the fact that in March 20th of 1991, George Herbert Walker Bush sold America to the Talmud Jews, gave it to them, sold it, gave it to them, whatever you want to call it. And the Talmud Jews are, and I'm going to give you the link for that as well. The Talmud Jews are basically follow a set of rules called the Noahide laws. And this is why I had the article up about the Masons sold their soul to the devil. And this is why it all happened at around that time in last century, actually. So the Talmud Jews follow the Noahide law. So let me show you what the Noahide law, what that looks like. You're not going to believe this, but I'm going to tell you what it is. I'll read this to you a little bit. Noahide laws passed by Congress. 1991, death by guillotine. Now, this is not a conspiracy theory. George Herbert Walker Bush is the person that gave the Talmud Jews the right to impose Noahide laws to American citizens. And what can your and the Noahide laws call for death by guillotines if you believe anything other than the laws of the Noahide tribe and or religion or rule book. Now, it's not a joke. And I'm going to prove this to you in a video that I made that's only on my Patreon page now. I'm going to read what the Noahide laws are, and that if a person, you or me or anybody else, believes in Allah or Buddha or Lao Tse or Christ or Hindu, anything in the Hindu philosophy, in the Hindu religion, if you believe in that, the Noahide laws that I'm going to post right now on my link allow for the Talmud Jews who now control religion in America. Make no mistake about it, they control it. That's why Benjamin Netanyahu got 27 standing ovations when he was before Congress, because Congress, the Senate, the presidency, Donald Trump, Obama, George Herbert Walker Bush, George Bush Jr., Clinton, they're all controlled by the great state of Israel. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. So I'm going to give you the link for that. You guys can look this up. It's in my notes. I'm going to probably show it to you in my notes. I'm going to post that link 3 times underneath the name of the article. And you can go cry about this all you want, but people, not just me, tens of thousands of people just like me, are being censored beyond anybody's recognition on YouTube and everywhere else in the world. You know that Trump's tweets, now I am not a tweeter. I don't tweet. I haven't been, I think about 4 years ago, Daisy posted some videos on Twitter. But I myself made a Twitter account in 2000, I think in 11, and I might have made about a dozen posts. I don't follow Twitter. I'm not going to follow Twitter. I don't post on Twitter. But Trump's tweets that there may be election fraud got censored on Twitter. But that woman, AOC, Ariana Castellina or Fazio, whatever the hell her name is, her tweets to punish all Republicans were allowed to go through. That was today. Last night at 3 o'clock in the morning, she called for all Democrats to make a list of all Republicans, Republican mayors, Republican governors, Republican judges, Republican YouTubers, Republican Twitters, Republican Facebook people. All of those people, or Ocasio O'Connor, whatever her name is, called for those people to be punished. That tweet went through, but Trump said there might be voter fraud, and Twitter censored his tweet. This is what the New World Order is. The New World Order isn't some kind of magical thing that's going to happen next year. You're living in it now. You just don't get it. You just don't understand what it is. You have no understanding other than what... if you go to... You people are fed nonsense all day on YouTube and the television. First of all, the commercials on television, they make your brain stupid. It's proven. That's why they put so many commercials on. What do you get? 6-7 minutes of airtime, and then you get 6 minutes of commercials that have 1 second sound bites. That screws up your brain. But anyway, you people have been dumbed down by commercials and television. And if you go to a YouTube subscription page, what do you see on a subscription page? News, 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 news. And every news story conflicts with every other news story. Nobody's going to tell you the truth. Because if they do, YouTube, Google, Twitter, CIA, the NSA, they just destroy your view counts. You got people out there with 100,000 subscribers, and once they, Grindall 61, 82,000 subscribers, and he might get 2,000 views on a video. He should be getting 30,000 views on a video. Then you get some piece of shit in the Philippines walking around videotaping a candy store, and buying 6 pesos worth of candy for the kids, and he'll get 12,000 views in 2 hours. You people are not understanding. They don't want the truth. The truth is there, but you got to go beyond the bullshit that they feed you on your subscriptions page. You're just not getting it. So I'm gonna start closing some tabs down. So I gave you the no-hide laws. I made a video of the no-hide laws passed by Congress. I'll show you the video. President, I had a little derogatory. President George Bush Sr., the second word. That's my video. I can play that. So, oh, man. So, the video got 3,000 views in just a few hours, maybe 96 hours. And that was in 2014. From 2014 till about a year ago, it got 14 or 15 views. That's it. Because when Google took over YouTube, it took them a while to censor all the videos that told you about the truth. And this was one of them. So what I did was I unlisted it. So you can only see this on my Patreon account. So there's a lot of people out there that asked, one man asked me last week, where's my Ritz Cracker video? One I made about Ritz Crackers, how they were screwing you. I made it, I think I just put that one up on my Patreon page, because what's the point? So I'm not going to show you the title of this video because it's a little derogatory. It wouldn't hurt. It just, it's just me. So in this video, Noahide laws passed by Congress, 1991, death by guillotine. Noahide laws passed by Congress. Oh, there's the name. All right, so I guess it doesn't matter. George Scumanazzi Bush Sr. sold America to the Talmud Jews March 5th and March 7th of 1991. Now, that's private, so you won't be able to find the link for that on my page because they took the monetization off. So why should I show anybody videos where I'm not going to be monetized for my work? And that was a lot of work. I read the articles, I checked all the links, I made sure all the links work. So that's the kind of video that you'll see in my Patreon account. Now, YouTube would let that video stay. The video wasn't removed. It wasn't even flagged. It was simply demonetized. So if I'm not going to make, you know how much money YouTube makes from me? I don't know. I guess I could figure it out. YouTube takes 50% of all of my YouTube earnings since 2010. That has to be all by itself more than $10,000. But now they're taking 30% of my super chat. I don't know how much that is. Maybe $3,000 or $4,000. I don't really know. I could look it up, but I don't spend my time doing stuff like that. But so YouTube has taken, let's just say, $13,000 of my money that I earned for them, and they earned by giving me a website to put my videos on. So they got $13,000. You know what they give me? They stole $860 from me from 3 of my super chatters in July and August. Three different people super chatted me $860. And they stole it. I never got it. Still to this day, I sent them another letter last week. I never got it. There are other people that this happened to. But what are you going to do? They won't answer you. They don't care. But moving beyond that, $13,000. And if I want to watch one of a quality video, there was a movie I wanted to watch. I don't know. It's in the premium. When you go to the premium live streams, there's videos. They sell the videos. You can. I never rented one, but you can rent them for the day. I think $2.99, $2.99, 150 pesos. They don't even give you a single free movie. I think that they should change the rules of Google. Not that Google cares what I think, but let's say Google has been making $100 a month from me for the last 10 years, which is about what it averages out to. They don't give you even one movie a month free. They give you nothing. They give you the website. That's all that you agree to get. That's all that you really can ask for. But then they stole money on top of that. So I told people, just don't super chat me. It's just that simple. You want to super chat me, it's okay, but it's not. The fact that the last 2 super chats, a 50 and a 10, I got those. That money went through properly, and I received my portion of that money. But then again, I have to pay taxes on the $60 turned out to be $40 because YouTube takes 30%. Then I have to pay taxes on that, so it might be $32. And then I have to pay 3% to the BIR out of that $32. So it might be $31. So out of $60, I get about half. That's what tax is for. They tax you into. But what are they paying? What are they doing? Now, I'm not saying the Philippines, because the Philippines is actually building bridges and they're building bridges from Cebu to Bohol. They're building bridges from Manila to Leyte so that they can do away with the very expensive ferries. They're doing something with the money for the taxes. But America, what do they do with the money in America? They build a $10 billion battleship, aircraft carrier. They shoot rounds out of 30 millimeter cannons that cost $100,000 a minute to shoot rounds out of a 30 millimeter cannon, or $30,000 a minute. that shoot 4,000 rounds. Yeah, it was $30,000 a minute. But they don't shoot for a whole minute. They only shoot in 5-second, 10-second bursts or 3-second bursts. But that's not the point. They do this all day long. They practice. The United States government spends, I think it was, I don't know. It was several $1 million a day for diesel fuel and 5 times that for nuclear fuel for their battleships, for their aircraft carriers and submarines. They spend $10 million a day maintaining nuclear reactors and fuel or more. They take our taxes and they build a war machine and they give us nothing back in return. The government. I'm not talking about Google. Google at least supplies us with a platform to speak our mind. But the government, they're not giving us anything back. They just keep increasing every tax. It's not fair. So I'm going to go to my video details on this video. Now Google signed me out of my own home page. This is just amazing. They want me to sign in to my own page after I signed in already. And it took an hour to do that this morning. I'm not going to do it. I just refused to do it. And they did it again. They keep wanting me to sign in. This is another way that Google screws you. They want me to sign in to every single tab I have open on the page. I signed them yesterday or the day before, or for the last 10 years, I just had to sign in once. Now I have to sign in with my email address and my password, which they're just destroying everybody's head with this bullshit. How many minutes? How many billions of minutes? 1 billion videos are watched a day. I don't know how many YouTubers have to spend 6 or 7 minutes a day signing into their account. And then every time they open up a page, they have to sign into their account again. This is bullshit. This is how they're destroying the mindset of the people of the world, not just YouTubers. Everybody is being inundated with bullshit. Look at this. I signed in. It took an hour to sign in. Now I just went to a videos page that was open for a link to give you people, and it wants me to sign in again. This is how Google is. It's like a commercial on television. It distracts you from the real show, which is why I don't watch TV. Now I'm going to try to refresh the page and see what happens. I'm not going to show you unless it opens up, and I'll tell you if it does. I'm waiting. It won't open up, so I'm going to have to open it up differently. This is how they're screwing you. They're screwing everybody. Now I have to go to a videos page that I opened after I signed in and go to the name of that title, which I have in my notes. This is how they are screwing you. Every possible which way to distract you from doing anything that you want to do. This is the plan that has been in place. Bullshit them with sports. Bullshit them with fake entertainment, fake news. It's all, none of it's real anymore. None of it's real anymore. Some people think that Trump is a good man, a good president. He's just a different face of evil. Not in my opinion, but many people. All right, I got it open now. And I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to show you the link because I don't want you to see it unless you're a member of my Patreon account. Noahide laws passed by Congress, death by guillotine. And in this video, I give you all the links. And I'm going to give you this right now. I'm going to give you this. That's all the links. That's all the information from my Patreon page that I'm going to give you. If you want to become a member of my Patreon page, feel free to do so. If you don't and you can't afford it, or you want to and you can't afford it, I can't help you with that. I spend a lot of time doing this research, and it's okay that I do this. I tried that, Dennis, and it didn't work, so I just went to a different... You're right about that, though. Sometimes it does work. This morning, it worked. This time, it did not work, Dennis. Thank you. And I'll tell you something else, Dennis, so that you know why it's not working now. When I say this morning, I mean at 3 o'clock this morning, I had to sign back in. Google signed me out at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was working on the computer. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, I signed back in. I put my password in. It said this password is not valid. My password. Well, so I put it in. Nothing. It said, we want to confirm with the Galaxy tab. Now, I haven't used my Galaxy tab to sign in. I don't use that anymore. It's like the thing is a piece of junk in and of itself. Has a good video, but has garbage for Wi-Fi, and it has garbage for live streaming. So I went to the Galaxy tab because it said it sent in a message, but it didn't. So it says, try a different method, ? So I tried a different method. It won't let me change the Galaxy tab to my phone. So after a long time, I gave up. I just gave up. And when I say a long time, 20 minutes, I just walked away from the computer. Then I went back to the page and refreshed the page, like you said, Dennis. And it said, put in your name and your password. And then it worked. So basically, I had to wait 20 minutes for Google's computer to recognize my computer. This is bullshit. This stuff happens instantaneously. So what you said is correct. And then this morning at 3:30 in the morning, when I refreshed the pages, they worked. But this time it didn't work. So I just closed out the tab. This is how they're screwing it. I know it sounds crazy, but every which way they can to stop you from having a continuous or contiguous thought process, they're doing it right now. You go to a subscription page on anybody's YouTube, all you see is bullshit. Recommended videos. If I ever went, I have never in 10 years watched 300 videos for more than 15 seconds. Never. Every time you go to recommended videos, it's some bullshit music video that I've never heard of, and I don't want to hear about it. Why is it recommending some bullshit pop culture music video from Japan when I've never listened to a pop culture music video from Japan? It's because they don't want you to focus on American, what's happening. They know if I put in the search engine Pink for Pink Floyd, it gives me some bullshit thing, Pink Wagon, Pink Pony. Or there's some kind of cartoon called the Pink Pony cartoon. It knows that I want to go to Pink Floyd, but it brings me to 50 different options because that's how they're screwing with everybody's head. So let me get back to my the video details. I'm gonna give you the no hard laws that's in this video on my Patreon page, and I think I sent this out to my. In fact, I just posted this to my Patreon page this morning. Okay, I did that one. Now I'm going to give you the next link in this. This is the kind of information, some of the information I give out in my Patreon page. But I'll read it to you. So, President George Herbert Sr. sold America to the Talmud Jews March 5th and 7th, 1991. Here's the law as it reads on the books. Appendix 1, blah, blah, blah. Public Law 102-14, blah, blah, blah. 102nd Congress Joint Resolution. Whereas the Congress recognizes the historical tradition of ethical values and principles which are the basis of civilized society and upon which our great nation was founded. Whereas these ethical values and principles have been bedrock of society, and from the dawn of civilization, they were known as the 7 Noahide laws. And then it goes on. I'll skip that paragraph. Whereas the Lubavitch movement has fostered and promoted these ethical values and principles throughout the world, where Rabbi Menachem Mendel Shearson, leader of the Lubavitch movement, is a universally respected and revered on his 89th birthday, falls on March 26, 1991. And that's the gift to Rabbi Menachem Mendel Shearson was the ownership of public law in America. They gave it to the Jews, more specifically the Talmud Jews. You think I'm kidding? I'll give you the article again. I'll show it to you again. Here it is, right here. Noahide laws passed by Congress, 1991. This is all part of the New World Order. So I'll redress what it says there. Okay, what it says there is that in all of that article, if you believe in Jesus, the Noahide law says we can chop off your head with a guillotine, death by guillotine. It's a very swift and painless death. That's the compensation clause of them killing you is that it will happen fast. That's it, though. The law is on the books. If you say you believe in Allah, they can chop off your head. If you believe in Buddha or you're a Hindu, they can chop off your head. You think I'm kidding? Read the article. Here it is, right here. I'll go through it slow, so you can read it. All right. So we have this, and now I'll page it at a time. This is page 1. This is page 2. Then over here it says under the Noahide laws, parts. This is when they were passed. Congressional Record, Volume 137, 1991, March 5th. Considered and passed in the House March 7th. Considered and passed in the Senate. 56. Link to article. Okay, and then this is something that you can click on the link. And then this shows you where they can chop off your head. So here's to amend the article to this. Okay, so this is what it does. The bill to be entitled an act to amend Article 2 of Chapter 10 of Title 17 of the official 1-2 Code of Georgia, annotated, relating to the death penalty. Right there. To generally so as to provide statements of legislative, a policy 1 through 4, a policy to provide for death by guillotine. Okay, this is it right here. 1 to 4, policy to provide for death by guillotine, to provide for 1 through 5, applicability to repeal conflicting laws for other purposes. So, in other words, the laws that were prior to the guillotine law are now null and void. To be enacted by the General Assembly of Georgia, Section 1. and it says, now this is really interesting. The General Assembly finds that while prisoners condemned to death may wish to donate one or more of their organs for transplant, any such desire is thwarted by the fact that electrocution makes all such organs unsuitable. So that's why they want death by guillotine, because if they chop off your head, they can harvest your organs. You think this is a joke? This is the law, and it has been for 30 years, 29 years. So they don't want people to be electrocuted, makes all organs unsuitable for transplant. The intent of the General Assembly in enacting this legislation is to provide for a method of execution which is compatible with the donation of organs by condemned prisoners. But the article goes on, if you read all the links, the article goes on that you can become a prisoner condemned to death for believing in any other religion or philosophy other than the Noahide laws. Now, there were several, they don't put it in that part of the main article, but if you follow all the links, if you believe in Jesus and go to church, you can have your head chopped off. Allah and pray 5 times a day, you can have your head chopped off. This is what they are making law of. This is what they made law of. It's not gonna happen. It was done 30 years ago. And you people are so stupid. All the people that have been saying this, you don't get it. It's not gonna happen. It's life today. That's why I called it a live stream, because today we're talking about the truth. And we know we're talking about the truth because I have on the number 43 white fedora. And when a man has on a white fedora, a man can only speak the truth. You know that. Everybody knows this. Reminds me of Elliot Gould in Ocean's 11. Everybody knows this. A white fedora represents truth, justice, and the great state of Israel, baby. Yeah, baby. You people are dumb as rocks, I swear to God. This stuff's been television, watching some bullshit video about a cat or a dog or the Muppets. It's all bullshit to stop you from finding out the truth. And now, for the last 4 years, I got to get back to Trump. That guy is pure and utter evil. You don't see it. I see it. A lot of people see it. I don't know if the person I had a conversation with this morning I know that person is watching, and thank you for that great conversation we had this morning. But I will tell you that you people, you have no idea what's about to happen, not just to America, but to the world. Okay, so Josie Garcia, that's true. I would say that in general, that statement is true. Josie Garcia says, because Trump is another face of evil, that's why they are trying to get rid of him, ? No. Okay, I would say it's not true, that part. They're not trying to get rid of him. This has been the plan, the pandemic or the plandemic, the false narrative about shutting down America over something that is really not that important or deadly. The plan has been to destroy the economy. Trump being controlled by Russia is just subterfuge so that people won't pay attention to the politics that are going on behind closed doors. And what now with the supposed election fraud, this is another way to distract the American people from what they're going to do. Now, Biden made it perfectly clear in an article I read this morning, not an article, a video he made. The first thing that he's going to do is go back to the Paris Peace Accord or the Paris Treaty Accord. The second thing he's going to do is eliminate any threat to America's democracy. That's what he said, which means he's going to start some wars. And that's what they do best. That's why we have the greatest war machine in the country. So because the first part of Josie's comment is because Trump, it's a question, because Trump is another face of the evil, that's why they are trying to get rid of him. They're not trying to get rid of him. He's part of it. It appears that a lot of energy is that they're trying to get rid of him, but he knew this was going to happen years ago. He knows, everybody knows on the inner circle what's happening in politics. This is not a secret. So this is part of the plan to stop people from reading about what they should be reading about. I put these links up. I did a lot of research over the last 10 years for these links. Maybe if 300 people watch this video, maybe 2 people will follow the links. Maybe 3 people already know about the links. So if it gets 300 views, I'm going to get less than 1/3 of 1% that are going to go follow the truth, because they're going to get subterfused back into the bullshit. Biden this, Trump that. Biden this, Trump that. They're both liars. That's what they are. Second part of the question. The truth is he is presently the only one barrier to the New World Order. That's a statement. Okay, and it appears to be that way. But what if, and I can't prove that this is true, but what if he is playing a role as the victim? What if he's playing the role as a victim so that for the next, do you have any idea what would happen if civil war broke out because of this? Do you have any idea? I don't know where you come from or what if you live in a city or if you live in Michigan or Wisconsin or some of those Midwestern states. If civil war breaks out over this, they'll just declare martial law. This is what they want. That's what they want. They want this to happen. They want chaos. They want people fighting. You think, what the F has Trump done ever to stop the riots in Seattle or Portland, Oregon? Nothing. Nothing he has done. He could stop it in an hour and just say, I don't care what the governor says, I'm going to send in the troops. And then he could get impeached for that. But he could stop it, but he didn't. So now we have $100 billion in damages and lost wages. So that's better than stopping it and getting impeached, which $100 billion in damages, lost wages, lost houses, lost businesses, insurance premiums don't stop, mortgages don't stop, you don't get paid, your unemployment insurance is next to zero compared to what it should be, and that balances out. Oh, I don't want to get impeached, so I'll just let America be destroyed. That's the plan. Let's just let America be destroyed, and I won't get impeached because I don't give a shit about America. This is Trump saying this, not me. He doesn't give a shit about America. He never did. He's not part of what you think you are as an American. He never was. Where Trump grew up was about 3 miles from my house. The houses where Trump grew up had yards that were thousands of square meters in some cases. Thousands of square meters. The houses were 3 stories plus a basement on rolling hills, and multi $2 and $3 and $4 million houses back then. He was never part of America. He wasn't brought up as an American child. He was brought up as a privileged, spoiled brat in Forest Hills. I know exactly where he grew up. I worked in Forest. I live in Queens. I worked all over. I know exactly where the neighborhood is where he lived. He was brought up in a multi-million-dollar house from a multi-millionaire. These people don't live lives like you and I live. Trump wants to go to Florida, he goes to Florida. He wants to go to the Bahamas, he goes to the Bahamas. If he wanted to go to Europe, he went to Europe. If he wanted to go to Aspen, Colorado to go skiing, he went to, and that's every day. Every day he wants to do that, he does that. You people plan for a vacation for 3 years, for 5 days. These people are on vacation their entire life. He has no freaking clue and doesn't give a shit about the American people, and he never did. And neither does Biden. This is the plan to destroy America. This is not a one-off thing. Trump knew exactly that the ballots were going to come in at 4 o'clock in the morning. He said it 2 weeks ago. I have that article somewhere in my files, but I don't even care. Trump said, I want the night of the election. That was when it was, not 2 weeks ago. He said it 2 weeks ago, but the night of the election, he goes, I want the votes to stop at the time that it's designated for the votes to stop, so we don't get miscellaneous votes at 4 o'clock in the morning. And the next morning, at 3:45 exactly, the ballots that were uncounted and postmarked afterwards, after the cutoff time, came into the post office. The Republican counters were pretty much thrown out of the counting offices, and the votes were counted without the proper amount of authorities from the Republican and the Democratic side, according to hundreds of videos and articles. They don't care about you. That's what this is about. They're going to shit on you every single day, worse and worse. And in the title, I warned you about this in 2010, that the New World Order was coming. Nobody was going to stop it. The guy in Las Vegas that went blah, 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 blah against Biden, he did nothing to slow it down. I had millions and millions of views on my first channel trying to stop Obama from becoming president in 2012. It didn't make a difference. Didn't make a difference. I mean, I had legitimate videos up like this with articles, and now we're going to go to the things that Trump absolutely straight up and down lied about it. So thanks for your question, intelligent. Thanks for your statement, very intelligent, but it's not what it appears to be. It just isn't, and nobody understands this. So I didn't even get to my first page of notes. Imagine that. Happened again. So I mentioned, is Trump a Freemason? I don't know. But I will tell you where MAGA came from. And MAGA came from the, it's believed. This article says, ever wonder where Donald Trump's America First campaign slogan came from? Well, here's a photo of the Ku Klux Klan on the march proclaiming, march as in marching, America First, America First, make America great again. One God, one country, one flag. Now, of course, lots of people said that, but his father was a Mason, and his father was arrested in a violent clash of the Ku Klux Klan in the 1920s. His father's name was Fred. You could look that up. I'm not going to start posting links to that because you could look that up. But here is the Ku Klux Klan saying America First. So Donald Trump is not what he appears to be. He's just not what he appears to be. He never was. He's not part of the American society. Never was. Privileged child. Do you not understand that these people live way better than kings and queens, because kings and queens have jobs to do. When Trump was growing up, all his job was to party. Yeah, he ran a business, but he's been on, in 1 year, Trump was on more vacations than anybody else working class person making less than $100,000 a year has ever been on. People making $100,000 a year with 2 kids, they go on vacation for a week a year. They stay at home for a week a year, and they cut the grass. Now they have no money at all. These people are not like you and me. They never were. And let me give you the link for this article in case you want it. I'm only going to post it once. Well, maybe I'll post it twice. All right, I got it. This is the link to where did the slogan Make America Great Again come from. And basically, it was taken from a march from the Ku Klux Klan. And they said the same thing. Now, did they want America to be great again? Not exactly, but they wanted it to be a great. But you just don't get it. This is frustrating. I got to tell you, a little frustrating, a little bit fun, a little bit frustrating. So let me go over here. Video details. So the Lubavitch movement has fostered and promoted these ethical values and principles throughout the world. That's what the New World Order is. The New World Order is now that if you worship anything but the rules and or laws of the Noahide philosophy, you can be put to the guillotine. And the reason they want to use a guillotine is so they can harvest your organs. I'm not making this up. It's in the articles that I posted. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my notes, and I'm going to show you my notes. Okay, so Herbert Walker Bush describes the New World Order. This is where we're at right now today. What George Herbert Walker Bush described, I'm going to post this again 3 times, is where we are at today. Make no mistake about it. You are in the New World Order. It's happening to you. It's happening to me. It's happening in Europe, Germany, Russia, China, and Japan, and everywhere else in the world. Everywhere. And now I got to go to my notes, and I'm going to talk about Obama, because Obama, he was basically the down to destroy America. Like, let's get down these steps and destroy America. That's what Obama did for America. Hope and change, or was it hope and shame? And the conversation that I could have with you about Obama, definitely get my channel taken off YouTube. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. What he actually did to people that went against him. Just take Joan Rivers, for example. Okay, so here's the clip that I have in my notes. George Herbert Walker Bush describes the New World Order in his address to Congress, and that is dated September 11th, 1990. All right? The New World Order is in your face now. If Biden wins, it's a mere extension of the Obama scenario of 8 years and hope and, shall I say, shame, question mark. People accused Obama of being the first gay president, and many died to cover up that story, which was never proven. People accused the first lady of being a man, LOL, and that was never proven. However, the point is, a lot went on that was never fully put into the light of day, because politics is played in the dark for the most part. And now I'm going to talk to you about the things that Trump promised and didn't do. I also will tell you I've seen how politicians are paid off in person back in the 1980s. I'll just say I saw it personally from my kitchen window in my house in New York. This is all Trump's fault, by the way, for not doing what he said and what he said he was going to do. Alpha. Trump never told us the truth about 9/11. Do you remember when Trump was going to get to the bottom and the truth about 9/11? Do you remember that? And the very day he supposedly, okay, wait a second. The very day the supposed truth, I have to separate that sentence. The very day the supposed truth about 9/11 came out, March of 2020, the very day, exactly that day, in the guise of the truth from Architects for 9/11, the pandemic took over the headlines of the world. That very day, now was 9/11 for Architects for 9/11 Truth involved? And did they plan on putting it out the same day that the pandemic became worldwide and global news headlines? Probably. I mean, I don't think they did it by accident. They waited 20 years. It took 20 years. It took 20 years for 3,000 so-called professional architects to put a lousy document together proving that the World Trade Centers did not fall from heat or fire. And it came out the same day, basically, as the pandemic. It came out after the pandemic, because the first talk about the pandemic was October 12th, 2019, from Johns Hopkins University. And the name of that article is Johns Hopkins. I don't have it here. The name of that article is Johns Hopkins University, October 12th, 2019, or October 17th, 2019, performs false flag operation in New York City. Just Google Johns Hopkins University, October 2019, and you're going to come that not only did they play a false flag narrative of a virus, but the name of the virus was Corona. The coronavirus, or COVID-19. That's the name of the virus that the Johns Hopkins University made the false flag event in New York City. They were going to they made like it was released in the subway. Johns Hopkins University, October 2019. You'll see the article. So the day that the actual truth for Architects for 9/11 came out, that was the day they started heavy with the pandemic. This is all part of the plan. These people have billions and trillions of dollars behind them. So people now don't care about 9/11. They don't give a shit about Architects for 9/11, because what they want is the ability to buy food. No one cares because they are now worried about buying food. Another lie that Trump said to the American people. You people think Trump is the end-all, be-all savior of the world. He's just a different face of the New World Order. Trump said he was going to get to the bottom of Obama's birth certificate. The only thing Trump got to the bottom of was Obama's buttocks, where he licks and licks and licks and licks. He has never done a damn thing to get to the truth behind the birth certificate issue. And now the birth certificate is put away. No one will have access to the birth certificate for 42 more years. 42 more years for 2016. 46 years. The birth certificate has been sealed for 50 years. No one will ever see Obama's original birth certificate. You think anybody's going to... Nobody will be around. It doesn't matter. Election fraud. Trump knew election fraud was coming. Did he do anything to stop it? Nope. Didn't do a damn thing to stop it. Election fraud. Trump knew it was going to happen. Trump knew it was going to happen. And not only did he know it was going to happen, but immediately before his last election, he said, when I get elected, I'm going to cure election fraud. He did nothing. Nothing he did. And that's what we have today. Because he never was going to do anything. That's the plan. He's a liar. He's a bullshit artist. And he's a New World Order type of guy. Did he ever put Clinton in jail? Did he ever put Clinton in jail as he promised he would get to the bottom of the email server? Did he ever do that? No, he never did that. He never did a damn thing against Clinton. He did nothing for the American people during the pandemic aside from destroying the economy. And now no one can think about any of those other things because they're just worried about buying food. They don't know or care about what Clinton's email server had on it. They don't care that Trump swore he was going to stop pedophilia in politics, which probably, according to a lot of people in the know, and I won't start mentioning names, the Podesta brothers, which were never investigated properly, that other guy Epstein and Gilson or Gilside, whatever her name is, they were never investigated properly. They make this shit drag on for 2 or 3 years, and in the meantime they drag up another 1,000 things to screw up your head. It's just a few people that remember this stuff that have the ability, and it's all getting scrubbed from the internet. One thing that got scrubbed from the internet, Obama, 17 days, first 17 days in office, Obama printed $17 billion in cash, and it disappeared. Didn't disappear. It went into the pockets of politicians, judges, lawyers, mayors, and governors, senators, and Congress. It didn't disappear. Everybody got a PI. It did not disappear. He printed it. It never went into the economy. In that regards, it disappeared. But where it went was into every corrupt or non-corrupt politician. They said you could take the money, do what we say, and you can keep the money. You could take the money, not do what we say, and we'll kill you or your family. Or you could not take the money and do what we say, and you can continue along politics and die. Or you can not take the money and not do what we say and die. Those are your options. I think I got one of those wrong. You can take the money and do what you could not take the money and do what we say and keep, you could keep your family. I got that one wrong. I made a boo-boo. So I think that's the end of my notes. Anybody have a question? Questions? No questions. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for stopping by. I had a great conversation with a fellow YouTuber this morning. Thank you for the conversation. If you're out there, you don't have to acknowledge the thank you. I'll try to do that again in a couple of days with you. Anything else up on here that I want to show you? This one, Make Electric, I talked about. Make Electric is a great. I'll you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post a few people's websites, or I'm going to post a few people's channels that tell you the truth. And he, again, just like me, he doesn't go through in-depth articles, but he gives you the links, lets you read them himself. You could spend the rest of your life reading this shit. I mean, a lot of this I read back in the 1990s when it was only in a library. But I did have a computer in 1990. That's when I went online a few years later. But you could read it in the Encyclopedia Britannica. In 1990, I bought the Encyclopedia Britannica on disc. 26 volumes plus the introduction book. And I read the entire Encyclopedia Britannica from cover to cover, every word, every period, every comma, every quotation mark, without going back to find out if what I read was true. Then, when I was done with that, probably around 1992, I read it again, and then I cross-referenced the material. So I think I went online in 95. And by that time, I had read the entire Encyclopedia Britannica twice, the Webster's 20th Unabridged Dictionary several times, because I've always had that on my shelf since 1973. And this stuff was all, not the Webster's Dictionary didn't have political stuff, but the Encyclopedia Britannica had all of these news articles dating back for the Order of the Blue Lodge and the Scottish Rites dating back to 1880s. All that stuff I'm talking about was all in the Encyclopedia Britannica. I don't know if it still is. So Make Electric. Oh, here's another way that Trump undermined his own reelection. Trump, how many times did Trump declare? I'll let you watch this. This guy's name of his channel is Liquid Smooth. But here's the name of the article. Trump undermined his own election by saying that he wanted to prop up the belief in Christianity or the Catholic faith. Now, you would say that's a misnomer, because isn't the Catholic faith a good thing? If you like pedophile priests. But Trump undermined his own reelection by propping up the Catholic Church, because most of the people that are Democrats are Catholic, or profess to be Catholic, or believe in the Vatican, which is in and of itself, in my opinion, a satanic entity with a building surrounding the satanic bags of water that live inside the Vatican. And I personally believe, this is my personal belief, I don't care what you people believe, I personally believe that the Pope is not an emissary of what we choose to call God, but something other than God. I'll leave it at that. Yep, I got that, Jose Garcia. I posted that link. Jose Garcia just posted something. I posted that link in my last live stream, Jose. Steve Pajanic made a 4-minute and 34-second video. Now, I don't like Alex Jones one bit. He's a government shill, no doubt about that. But Steve Pajanic came on Press Reset Earth's channel. I think Press Reset Earth may have put the video up, that Trump, months ago, with the NSA and whoever controls the building of the voter ballots themselves. In other words, the voter ballot is a piece of paper, okay? It's nothing more than a piece of paper. And then inside this piece of paper, they put a non-radioactive military-grade encryption code in the ballot. So if there was going to be a ballot, a mail-out ballot, supposedly one company manufactured all the ballots. The paper had a military-grade encryption on it, non-radioactive, and then they put who you want to vote for on the paper ballot. That's why Josie Garcia said what he or she said. I think Josie's a man's name. I'm not sure. So it's true what Josie said. It's absolutely true. But Trump has to get to the point of finding out which ballots were posted illegally, and before they throw them out or before they lock them down into evidence where he can't get to them. It's all part of a bigger plan. So if Trump did that 3 months ago, and he probably did, because 2 weeks ago, before the election, he said he paid in advance $25 million to lawyers to be working on the election fraud the day after the election. That's a fact. That's factual. He paid upfront in advance $25 million to lawyers to go immediately to the Supreme Court 8 o'clock the morning after the election to get these pieces of paper. But it may never get that. It might just be more bullshit. It might just be another story that the 3%ers and the Republicans and I forgot the name of the White Boys or something like that, the Proud Boys, they might get rambunctious before if he doesn't get what he wants, the ballots. And if there's a civil war, that's what they want. I mean, I wouldn't say who would win. Chances are pretty high that one side or the other would win quick. I don't know. The military has a lot of weapons. I mean, the military has Puff the Magic Dragon helicopter gunships, and they have the Warthog, and they have tanks, and they have sound cannons that they probably use on the good old white folk. They'd probably use the sound cannons to stop the good old white folk from revolting against Biden. Biden would use it. He'd use every method possible, including probably Biden would use any method possible, including anything. I don't want to say what, but he is. The Democrats are absolutely for war, which means they're absolutely for stopping dissension in the ranks. All right, so that was one video I wanted to get up. Let's see. I think this one doesn't have anything to do with anything. I'll check it out. It's taken a while for these pages to load. Yeah, the internet. Scott Del Fuego coined this thing perfectly. My next show, we're going to talk about what real men do for a living. And then I'm going to show you myself and removing a propeller. A 66-inch, 9-inch propeller from Barge Dragon. That's what I'm going to show you. What it's like to do a real man's work for a day. Well, just that day was that job. Removing the propeller. It took the two grown men, several different types of sledgehammers, and a wrench that took me about an hour and a half to make, beating on that wrench for probably 45 minutes. It took us 7 hours to remove a propeller from my barge. So my next video is not going to be about politics. It's going to be about the work that men do and how dangerous some jobs are. So I'm going to get off of politics because it doesn't end. You people are stone stupid. The ones that have followed the links in the chat window, you're going to find that everything I said is true. There's going to be 1% or less that are going to follow the links. The rest of you, all I did was do blah, blah, blah for a couple of hours because you're stone stupid. You don't want to spend. Not only are you stone stupid, but you have been dumbed down to the point where you can't focus on reading a news article for an hour. You can't read for an hour. No one reads anymore. Just bullshit comes out of everybody's mouth at 27,000 miles an hour with nothing to back it up except half-truths, things they might remember to be true, things that are not true, things that they believe to be true but are not true, and some things that are true. But mostly people are just full of shit on YouTube. Mostly people just move through their life on YouTube. We're talking about CNN News. We're talking about NBC News. We're talking about ABC News. And we're certainly talking about Fox News that everybody believes to be true when it's nothing but a bullshit story. It's all bullshit. It's all controlled by 6 corporations, including Disney. You people are screwed. If you believe that I'll say it again. I don't need the hat and I don't need the glasses. I need the hat because I'm going to tell the truth. If you believe that things are going to get better, then you are dumber than dog doo-doo. You're dumber than dog doo-doo. That's how stupid you are. Things are not going to get better, ever. The world is not going to be a beautiful place like it was in the 1970s and 80s and even early 90s. Not going to happen. It's going to get progressively worse every day. Not because of Trump, not because of Biden, but because the world is already controlled. If you believe in the forces of good and evil and you want to call it evil, then the world is controlled by evil. If you don't believe in the forces of good and evil and you think everything happens for a purpose, well, then this is the plan. If you believe in the New World Order or don't believe in the New World Order, rest assured it's under the guise of the New World Order, the Rockefeller Foundation, the Club of Rome, the Order of Masons, the Rothschilds, the Clinton dynasty, the Jesuit priests that control the Vatican. It's all part, the Rotary Club, the Knights of Columbus, the Knights of Malta. It's all part. They're all one big ball of doo. That's what controls the world. Doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo. That's what controls the world. A pile of lying, thieving doo-doos. That's what controls the world. The whole world. Not Russia, not China, not America, not Japan. The whole freaking world. You want proof? I'll give you one proof. The entire world stopped because of a virus that doesn't even kill a 0.5 percentage point of the population, and 95% of the people it does kill are 70 years or older, and 95% of those people are in a nursing home or a hospital ward. Doesn't kill regular people, what they'll have you believe. Here, one more story, and then I think I'm gonna hang up my hat, so to speak. I'll just take the hat off and I'll stop talking. Trump lied to you, to your face. What kind of bullshit? How many people can believe his bullshit that in March of 2020, Trump said that, what was the name of that hospital? The name of the hospital name, please. Hospital name. Oh, not Flushing Meadow Hospital. Damn, forgot the name of the hospital. He said the hospital, which is right off Union Turnpike, was full of deaths, people that were dead from the virus. He said that. He said there were so many dead people they had to bring refrigerated trucks. Elmhurst General Hospital. They had to bring refrigerated trucks to Elmhurst General Hospital to carry and to stack the bodies in the truck. So while he was on doing the speech, a couple of people, 2 for sure that I saw videos of, and they were removed, 2 for sure, went straight to the hospital so they get a YouTube video out of it. The hospital was empty. There were no trucks. There were no doctors in the emergency room. There were no patients. The hospital was empty. There were no cars in the parking lots. The only people in the hospital, while Trump was live on television saying that the hospital was full of dead bodies and there were trucks in the parking lot to carry all the dead bodies away, there was nobody in the hospital. No doctors, no nurses, no staff, no patients waiting, no dead bodies, nothing. So he's on television talking about Elmhurst General Hospital being overwhelmed by dead people, and there were no dead people at the hospital while he's on television saying it was true. He's lying to you. He's part of the New World Order. He's the face of the New World Order today, and Biden and Kamala Harris will be the face of the New World Order tomorrow. Unless Trump spends 6 or 7 months and a few $100 billion trillion of time from the American people, if your time has any value, of you listening to countless bullshit stories on the 7 different news companies that control the news. Remember, you want to know what this is going to be about? You want to know what this new election for it is going to be? It's going to be the O.J. Simpson trial on steroids, where every effing so-called genius and professional and expert on every topic regarding encryption codes and postal laws and lawyers' codes and Supreme Court justices' rulings and local circuit court judges, every single piece of shit judge and lawyer and politician is going to get in on this, making between $500 and $2,000 an hour. The American people are going to watch this shit on TV for the next 2 years. Meanwhile, they're going to be screwing you royal up the old doo-doo shoot. Up the old doo-doo shoot. Here's my glasses. Let me say goodbye to everybody. Goodbye, Dennis Adam. Thank you for stopping by and assisting me with wrenching abilities that apparently we have them all blocked now. We don't need wrenches. No, we do need wrenches. They still have to fear. They have to fear the wrench of the Dennis Adam and the Jack Thompson of the world, and the Scott Del Fuego and Andrew. Go Bobo sister. No. LOL. The fear of the wrench. No, go Bobo sister. Now. I don't give anybody a wrench who I don't have their personal, a way to communicate with them personally. And I asked you several times for a telephone number where you are to talk to you over the course of a few years, or asked anybody that, when I, just like what I'm saying now, I don't give anybody a wrench that I don't feel I know personally. Although you've been very generous to me. You're related to a real piece of shit, I'd have to tell you. I know that you're 2 different people. I hear you, brother and sister. But giving you a wrench without knowing who you are, not going to happen. But I appreciate that you stop by and say hello. I think you can understand that. I don't, if you have a wrench on my channel, it means I've somehow, except for Pennsylvania Trucker, I just know of him to be an honest man. And Go Bobo sister and Go Bobo and Go Gummy Bear and whatever. You have 1,000 accounts. I could be giving a wrench to the worst possible to anybody. I have to talk to you. Send me your telephone number. And we'll Skype face to face. That's the way you get a wrench. So, except for 2 people. Pennsylvania Trucker, I just know him to be an honest man because he's never been anything but. And Flying Circus, I've never seen Flying Circus, but I've never seen Flying Circus put up anything to the contrary of truth, justice, and the American way. And I think that they're doing a hell of a job so far. I think that, that's just the way it is. That's what I think. It's my channel. I can give a wrench to anybody I want. But I have given wrenches out to people and then go to my block page and I see that my friends were blocked. I did that with Samuel, Warren and Samuel. This goes back 4 years, but I gave a wrench to Samuel. He got extorted by a guy on YouTube. Yeah, that's the truth. He blocked 120 people. One day I was collecting big amount of super chat, and the next day nobody was super chatting me. I'm going, what the hell is going on? And somebody said, we're all blocked. And I'm going, well, how the hell did that happen? And I went to my block page while I was live streaming, and Samuel, what was that guy's name? Samuel, I don't know, some stupid name. He blocked 120 of my friends. We will not have that happen again. Because he had a criminal record. And because somebody found out about his criminal record and said, if you don't block all the Fazio super chatters, that I'll publish your criminal record. It was pretty much his only choice, but I will never give another wrench to somebody I don't talk to. And I don't even know if Samuel was telling the truth about that. So, Uncle Sam, right, Uncle Sam, that was his name. I don't even know if he was telling the truth. He might have just been jealous. The guy did not have a big channel or anything like that. But what he told me was that he had a criminal record. That's what he said to me personally. He had a criminal record, and that somebody found out about it, and he wanted to come to the Philippines, and somebody said that they would expose his criminal record if he didn't block my